Hello. You can see I gave Minnie a little thing that she's chewing on to try to help her sit with us. One of the things that makes it so difficult to try to let go and let the breakup stick is that we really have a hard time letting go of the idea of who we thought the narcissist was. Do you know what I'm saying? You go through an entire relationship, whether it's 1 year or 20 years or whatever, you have in your mind, your heart, your soul, when you're with someone, you have an ideal of them and you want them to be this person, especially with the narcissist. Because those of us that have been, that's loud, isn't it? Her chewing. She'll be done soon. Maybe it wasn't the best idea, but I can't take it from her now. When you date a narcissist, you're dating someone who isn't showing you their true self. They don't even know who their true self is. They don't have any idea. And as we talked about before, they shape-shift depending on who they're around. They shape-shift depending on who they're dating. They act differently according to what they think their audience needs at that time. Okay? It's the nature of their being. They'll adjust. They want to charm you, they're going to act a certain way. They want to charm the next person, they're going to act a certain way. They're going to mirror you. We've talked about all of that. With all of that comes the fact that they are not at all, even from day one, the person that you thought they are. It's not that they changed. That gets said a lot in any breakup, even without narcissism. Oh, he changed. He was one way when I met him, and now he's this way. Or she used to do this, and now, she doesn't. And people get really hung up on that if they change and you don't change together, and it can cause a dissonance of a different kind in any relationship. With a narcissist, we have to keep in mind they didn't change. It's not like, okay, the love bombing's over and now they changed, they became this monster. They were always the person that was going to be the monster. They weren't this wonderful person in love bombing and then changed to a monster. You follow what I'm saying? It can be extremely difficult to wrap your brain around that. And that was also one of the last things that I had to really grasp. And I just made a video on it when I talked about one of the last things being when you realize they are saying the same things to everybody. And you might say, well, how do you know that though, Renee? I have a question on that. How do you know? I just do. We all do. Everyone knows it. It's what they do. Just because of all the reasons I stated in that video. But that was a hard thing to grasp. And once I did, I really had to also grasp, oh, okay, so he was never for a second the guy. Because I think right up until then, I still held out like, well, maybe I really was special to him. We did seem to have a special bond. Maybe he did mean what he said to me when he said it. And now he's going off and doing his narcissism thing. I think I was kind of like holding on to something that I meant. You want to think you meant something to somebody. You want to think that you meant something. Especially someone that's making you go through all that. How was your treat? I think once you accept that they not only are never going to be the person that you idealize them to be, they never were the person that you idealize them to be. Once you accept that, it's easier to get through it and let that breakup stick. Because I think that when you are hanging around, waiting, you can't quite leave, you can't wait. It's because we are thinking and wanting and hoping and wishing and praying that some detail, something's going to shine through, and they're going to, boom, be the person that we knew they could be. Right? Because they make you feel like that. Oh, only you see me. You're the only one that gets me. You're the only one. So you think, well, I understand. I know what's inside of him. I can see it. There's a good person in there. Nope. That's the answer that you have to. Nope. No, there isn't. I know the way I'm saying it is very harsh. There isn't. And it really took me forever, because every single phone call I get, he was still very nice to me on the phone. He was still very charming, trying to make me laugh, telling me how special I was, claiming that he was, I don't know what's wrong with me. I'm just dysfunctional. I love you. Why can't I just be, he couldn't even explain his own behavior to himself to make any sense. So again, when they do that during the hoovering that comes subsequent, the subsequent hoovering after the breakup, then you even start to convince yourself again, maybe he is the good guy. Maybe I'm wrong about this narcissism business. You might even go there with yourself, right? I did. There was a minute there when I was learning it all. I knew that he was, but there was a minute there when I said, well, I'm not a doctor. Maybe I'm wrong. This was last year. There was a millisecond. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe he's not a narcissist. I'm not a psychologist. How could I diagnose this? Maybe I'm wrong. Every single aspect of it, that the nearly 1,000 videos I've watched and things that I've read, every single one, he follows exactly what they all say. They really are a cookie cutout of each other. They come in different forms, different packages. They do different things for a living. But they have a cycle of behavior that definitely is consistent among them and consistent within their life of their own. The breakup is killing you because your idea of who they are and who they pretend to be are not yet in line with each other. You're still holding on to hope that he's the guy you thought or the girl that you thought. Once you get your idea of him to match who they are, your breakup will go a lot easier. You leaving them will go easier. In other words, let's just say, let's use these guys again. I used these the other day, remember? Say this is the real guy. This is him, the real guy. And this is the one with the red. This is the one, he has the mask on, they call it. So he's being the narcissist. He's being charming. This is the good, the mask is on. So he's being your love bombing. You're in love with this guy. This is the real guy. Oh, it's kind of perfect. Because look, he's gold. So it's like he takes his robe off, and this is the real guy. The mask is off. Many times, I think they're lower than low, the way that they behave. So let's put him here. And this is where we have our narcissist. We think of them here, don't we? We idolize them. They tell us, they worship us in love bombing. So that's where now we're worshiping them. Nobody's ever treated me that way. Oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. He starts to do things, he comes down. He love bombs you, he goes back up. He starts to do bad things. Okay, so now you're on a breakup. Even though you think you know that this is the real guy, you still probably, I know it, if you examine it, it's going to help you. He's still up here. You're still thinking, ooh, but maybe, ooh, but wait, ooh, but. The minute you close the gap and the real narcissist is who you see, and you no longer have this falsified, masked trickery, sorcery, I swear they use, to see him this way, the minute you see him this way, your breakup's going to be easy. Or you're continuing the breakup, or maintaining the breakup, or trying to get the courage for a breakup, or wherever you are. The minute the dissonance closes, you'll be better off. That is why we can't let go. It is because, and it kills you. It kills you because you really did believe in this guy. You really did. You believed in him. But he was always this guy. He didn't change. He just put a little red coat on. He didn't. I'm just looking at my makeup. Forgive me. That's a story, and I'll tell you in 1 second. He didn't change. He just put a little red coat on and made you think he was this wonderful guy. He's always been this one. Always. He is right now for the next person. This is who they are. Bare bones. Trickery, lies, deceit. That's what they bring to the table. Yeah, this is a lot. I realize I don't wear makeup, but I do my eyes and do a little this and do a little lipstick, right? If I go and do something. I went out to dinner with my parents, all three of my parents, 4 nights ago. And I keep sleeping with it, and I just keep adding. I sleep carefully because of the mascara, but that's why you normally see over 200 videos. I don't really do my eyes when I do these videos. I do lipstick for you guys. I put a little highlighter on, but but that's why these are looking very, by this point, they're really looking like, yeah. But anyway, that's why. So that's all I'm trying to say to you. I'm trying to help you feel better about why it is that you can't snap out of it. And if you look at it that way and say, you know what, she's right. I'm holding on, because that's what you're doing. You're hurting. You're hoping. You're going to miss them. But are you going to miss them? When you realize that they've been that, I don't want to say low person, but I'm sorry, but they are. They're not even traveling on the same frequency as we are. They're very dysfunctional, and they always are. So they were never your ideal that you thought. Now, how can you bridge the gap? You have to ask yourself some tough questions, don't you? You do. You have to. You have to say, well, you know what? They might say this, 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 and this, but how are they acting? Obviously, you have to go by the way somebody treats you, the way that they act, not what they say. The entire last year of communication that I had with my narcissist, post-breakup, we were in communication for about a year, on and off, I would say, in and out of no contacts and blockages and whatever. Once a month, once every 2 months, once every 6 weeks, for about a year, right? I told him that entire year that I never, ever again would place weight in any words that he spoke. He continued to say them anyway. Didn't place any weight in his words. And that actions would be what would show me if he were meaning what he said or not. Well, needless to say, no actions ever came through. He never spent the time or the action showing me anything. He showed me ill behavior. He showed me who he was. If somebody tells you who they are, believe them. If they show you who they are, and it took me all that time to still believe it, it was in front of me. It was in front of me. I saw it. I saw the behavior. I saw the behavior. Saw the behavior. Wouldn't match it up. I saw him acting like that. Still had him up here. I wasn't answering my own questions truthfully, was I? And that's something that can keep us there for a long time. So please look at the truth of your situation. And if there is a dissonance between the truth of who they are and how you're seeing them, try to bridge that gap, and it will help you. I promise.